Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Hentges with Beyond the Chart. In this technical analysis of the stock market video, we're going to take a look at the SPY today. And because of the Chinese New Year, I'm going to focus on China. We're going to look at the Shanghai Composite, the Shenzhen, the Hang Seng Index, and three very active Chinese ADRs, Alibaba, JD.com, and VipShop. So stay tuned. All right, let's start off here with the SPY. So what did we do? On Friday, we're down 36 cents, actually. So the consolidation continues for the last couple of days after a nice big move that happened on Wednesday. Actually, Tuesday, Wednesday combination in here. I have moved the Elliott wave count to get in sync with the Dow now because of the move that's been made here just this last week. So we are still within minor wave 3, counting minute wave 1, 2, 3, and I've moved 4 over here because I think this is where it makes the most sense based on what we're seeing in this consolidation that's happened over a 6-week period from mid-December here to the end of last week actually. So now that's why I've got this as 4. What does this mean? This means we're in the 5th minute wave, the 5th wave within the 3rd minor wave. So the 3rd minor wave is almost done, and that means that the 4th corrective wave will be coming, and then one more leg higher. Okay, so that's the picture on the SPY, and let me zoom in a little bit so we can see that just a little bit clearer. You can see how the 10-day moving average has been above the 21-day actually ever since the November 10th. It came back down here at the end of December, early January, and just kind of rode on top of it and then continues to stay above it. And here this last week now we're trading consistently several days here above the 10. So the short-term trend continues to push higher, at least over the interim. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. Now here's how we look for this last week, up 2.23 for the week on the SPY. So kind of a big breakout move here, it looks like, breaking out of that consolidation pattern. So the question is, how much do we have left to go up here? I think we've completed maybe 2 of the 5 little waves within this last wave cycle in here. And I say that because when I look at in here, this looks like 1, 2 to me. We might have had one little one in here, but I don't think so. This 3-day move, when I looked at the hourly charts, this looked pretty straight up. And then we got a consolidation pattern going on here, not much pullback, at least not yet anyway. And so now if that's the case, then that means we still have 3, 4, and 5 within this wave structure to complete. So back on the weekly chart, looking for this to push up. It's going to be interesting to see. These lines in here, I'm just connecting, the pivot points, okay? I'm connecting the highs, and really I'm not saying that this is any kind of ascending triangle or anything, or, ending diagonal. I'm just saying we've got a channel. We've got an upward sloping channel that's going on here, and it's going to be real interesting as we complete this 3rd minor wave. Does it complete itself up here right near the top of this channel and then do a zigzag? Let me tell you what, let me line this up. So I think, we come up like this, and it may even throw over a little bit, and then we do a zigzag type of correction that may come right down to this lower level of the channel and get in sync with the lowest level of this previous 4th wave, and then come up here for the 5th and final wave, which so we'd have we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then that's it, because we are in the 5th intermediate wave higher here. So we'd have minor waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is what I'm watching for. Here's what I'm expecting. We'll watch and see how it plays out. Okay, so that's the picture on the S&P 500. Let me get back to my mouse. There we go. Let's take a look at the Shanghai Composite. All right, so let me zoom back out of this, or zoom in, and the trading here on the Shanghai Composite, this is Thursday. They were closed on Friday. because of the New Year's Eve holiday. And they're actually closed Monday through Thursday of this coming week. So they are closed for 5 business days straight, which is pretty amazing, actually, that they're shut down for that extended period of time. But it's a big celebration, big holiday in China for the Spring Festival or the New Year Festival, whatever they call it, both things over there. And so that's what's going on right now. And what I'm seeing here in the Shanghai Composite is I believe we've broken down. We've got minor wave 1, and that we are working a second wave. It could have possibly completed here and doing, here's the alternate count, minute wave 1 and a 2 pullback, or I'm going with this primary count for now. So here's my primary and here's my alternate count on this. But either way, I'm expecting this to continue to come on down south. That's where I'm expecting on the Shanghai Composite. Now, when you come over and look at the Shenzhen, you can see that we are getting much more dramatic move in that direction. Okay, so I think we've got 1, 2, and that we are working a 1, 2, working a 5 wave count within the third minor wave down. Now you could actually say the alternate might be that this is 3, 4, but I'm going with this count right now. It's just it looks best to me at this point. So I'm actually expecting this to rapidly move at least to this low, and if not beyond it, as we move to a big, C wave to the downside. All right, so that's the picture on the Shenzhen and the Shanghai. Let's take a look at the Hang Seng. The interesting thing about the Hang Seng I happen to notice today is that when you look at when this peaked back in April 2015, several months before the Shanghai and the Shenzhen, which peaked in June of 2015. So 2 months before their peak. And then when I look at this pullback of intermediate wave 2 here, it peaked in September 9th, which is again about 2 months before the peak. And let's take a look at the Shenzhen we were just looking at. What is this? November 22nd. So actually about 2.5 months ahead of that. And when the Shanghai is peaking here in the end of November, and so the Hang Seng peaked in September 9th. So it's leading the other 2 mainland stock market indices down. And I do believe, now we haven't had the break of this corrective type move yet. We started to here, then we're getting this pullback. It looks to me like we have a 5-wave sequence down. That's why I labeled this as minor wave 1, and that we're getting this pullback here. I'm expecting this to end fairly soon, but it doesn't have to. I mean, a wave 2 could go all the way back up as long as it doesn't go above the start of wave 1. So that's the complicating factor that can happen with when you're dealing with a wave 2, because it can retrace all the way. Now we are getting some non-confirmation that's occurring on the indicators, on the RSI, not so much on the DI plus, and again on the demand index, it's not confirming this little move here, this last move up. So that's the picture on the Hang Seng, and the Hang Seng will be closed. Let's see, it was open on Friday, I believe. Yes, it was. So as opposed to mainland, it was open on Friday. It is not open on Monday and Tuesday of this coming week. All right, that's the picture in China. That's what's going on. Let's take a look at Alibaba. And by the way, while I'm thinking of it, you need to head over and take a look at my post after you get done listening to this. If you're not listening to it on my website, get over and check out the post, which is titled, will China crow or be plucked this year? This is the year of the rooster. So we'll interesting discussion I have over there. We're got some tensions going on here in the world, and especially with China. So we'll see how that plays out, and I talk about that. All right, let's start off here with Alibaba. Alibaba, I do think, is in a 5th minor wave up. It looks to me like we've got maybe some more to go. I'm expecting it actually to take out this high back up here in September. And right now it's trending very nicely to the upside. It's getting a little extended, but it continues to trend above the 10-day very nicely. Not getting any divergence yet You know, I'd hate to jump in at this point on something like this. Kind of like to, you know, have consolidation of some kind or a pullback below the 10-day moving average or something to look for a re-entry point. But right now, this is the picture on Alibaba. And let me step back. It seems like I had put on here, yes, okay, here's the all-time high, 120. And it hit that 120 within a couple of months, actually less than 2 months after, about a month and a half after going public back in 2014. And we haven't come close to that yet. The closest we got was 110 in September of last fall. So right now, looks like we're making another run in that direction. All right, let's take a look at JD.com. And big swings on JD.com, huge swings. This is all the trading on JD.com from back in, when is this, May of 2014. Big, huge swings. So you can see what's going on. Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs so far, lower highs. We have not taken out this October 3rd high. Now, the positive, it's broken this trend line. And, you know, potential 5 waves up here. Looks like a little sharp pullback. We could be in a swing to the upside, and it's positive that it broke this trend line here. But it's got a history of these big swinging type moves. So, number one, it needs to get above this high, which was 29.23. We're almost there. We're approaching it. I like the way it's swinging, you know, staying very nicely on the above the 10-day moving average in here, and the 10s above the 21, above the 55, moving to the upside. So that's JD.com. It's in a nice upward trending move right now. And the last one we're going to take a look at is VipShop. Now, the interesting thing about VipShop is this is everything on VipShop, but it's been around since 2012. So it's been around for a while. A huge bull move that peaked out in, what was this, April 2015. And, you know, if you take this and take it off a semi-log, you can see the move even more dramatically in terms of what happened here as it got into that final leg to the upside. I like to keep everything on a semi-log. And it just keeps everything in proportion. So right now, this has retraced. Let me go back a minute. This move right in here from the peak back has retraced a little over 61% of this entire move. So this is a fairly deep move that it's made, and it does look like it is trying to get legs, possibly put in base in here in the low 10 area in here between like $10.30 and $10.50. So watching to see, I would not just automatically just say, okay, because it's down here and low, it looks like it's ready to go. Right now, I'm looking at this thinking, let's watch and see, does price start to turn? Do we start to get these moving averages turn to the upside? Do we break to a new high? Do we break some trend lines? Not seeing a whole lot of that yet, but that's what we'll be watching for here on VipShop. This is a very actively traded stock. Okay, that's it for this weekend. A little longer than usual video. Hope you found this helpful. If you did, please hit the like button. And again, if you're not watching this on my website, head on over to the website, check out the post I've got in there about China for this weekend and the new year. Everyone have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on the next video.